Thank you again so much for joining us today. We're talking with Maureen Toombs and Janet Romano, both members of the Women's Council of Realtors here in Rochester, New York. And in this segment, I'd really like to dig in a little bit to some of the upcoming events that you're putting on for members of your groups and associate members. And you said some of them are even open to the public. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about cross-generational communication when it comes to real estate.
Cross-general communication has a lot to do with the styles that people use. Like Generation X and Y are constantly texting. They could be texting the person sitting right next to them. So a realtor has to be in tune to how their buyers and sellers want to be communicated with and learn those techniques. You can't just say, I don't want to text or I don't want to look at my emails. Some people prefer to just strictly talk in emails.
Absolutely.
If you're not looking at your emails every few minutes just about.
I find that an interesting topic, I just had to say, because I find that through life, you see these different generations, and some of the, I'm an X generation, I think, right? We don't text to the people next door to each other. That's a little tacky. We talk to them. But the Y generation actually texts the other kids, I'll say,
Right.
quote, next to them. Where, the older, the people that are 10 years older than me, they'll just call me on the phone. You know what I mean? So, and I'm finding myself in that middle ground, like, oh, sometimes I'll text, sometimes I'll say, why are you texting me? That's stupid. Call me.
Right.
And-
I'm a
and-
baby
or-
boomer, and I want to pick up the telephone and talk to
Exactly.
people. So
And you probably are less likely to email than me.
not now.
Right. You have
I
to
even
force
have a BlackBerry
yourself.
so that I can constantly talk to people
See,
that I need to.
I've pretty
Yeah.
much given up
But I
the
had
email.
to get out of my comfort zone and learn this.
You had to force yourself for your
Because
business.
for a while, I didn't
Oh,
look
yeah.
at my text area on my phone. Now I look at it
I do
probably every
most
hour.
of
Oh.
my communication, work and personal through Facebook. It's amazing.
And I just
Really?
found many friends through Facebook that had lost touch with me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of realtors still are saying, oh, it's such a time waster. I can't do that. People
yeah.
are finding me from all over the country because of my Facebook page.
Well, it depends on what you're doing on there. Like for work, I contact Aaron, who's our board op and producer, through Facebook. And I'll send him a message on Facebook and he'll send me a message back. And I can read it in my email if I want. I don't have to log on to Facebook to see it. But it's easier for me than trying to remember somebody's email address or even calling sometimes, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but that's become one of the tools that I'm using most to communicate. And having our business page connected to my
the Facebook.
profile page, it's just the way to go for me right now. But
I
that's
just picked up a
interesting.
buyer the other day. In fact, she bought Chuck's
Really?
listing because she'd lost my phone number, she'd lost my email address, but she found me on Facebook and said, I'm ready now.
Wow. Awesome.
Amazing how that networking, that social networking. But it's
And
interesting
we
to
learn a lot
find.
of that through Women's Council.
You what? I'm
We
sorry.
learn a lot of that from Women's Council.
Oh,
we
you
have
do?
a tech person come at least once a year talking about all the new gadgets that you can buy, all the types of things that you can
Okay.
use.
Oh, the apps, the downloads, and
Yep.
this and that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
how to stay in
amazing.
tune with the generations.
Yes.
Very interesting. And that's something that people can learn by being a member of the Women's Council of Realtors we're finding out today. Why don't you tell us, Maureen, about some of the events that are coming up in the Rochester area for the Women's Council of Realtors?
Sure. The next event coming up actually is
The Edith Lang?
July. Oh,
Is that?
do you want me to go back that far? July 22nd is the next one, The Art of Influence and Persuasion. And the speaker for that will be Reinhard Brucker, and he is actually from a local real estate company, Realty World. And that event is all scheduled, ready to go. And if you, again, go to the website, you'll be able to pick up information and a registration sheet there.
And that's WCRRochesterNewYork.com, folks. That's the website
That's right.
that you can get to for.
And then
the
we have
Women's
August 5th, which is networking, which is really kind of an exclusive to real estate, and anybody who's a vendor or an affiliate would be able to come to that event. And then the next biggest event we have coming up is September 23rd. That's Edith Lank, okay, at Casa Larga, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and there'll be a whole panel of people there. We're also celebrating 100 years of the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors along with that event. So Edith is there, and we'll have realtors and affiliates and bankers who will all have been in the business and or the industry related to this business for the last 30-plus years.
Wow.
So that's going to be a wow event. Then we have the fashion show coming up. That's October 13th this year. The fashion show is a fundraiser for women's breast cancer. Then there's that cross-generational selling we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The national speaker we are having in Rochester for that is Marilyn Moats Kennedy. She is a fabulous speaker. We've seen her speak more than once at different meetings we've been to across the country, in Washington and Baltimore and different other places. And we usually end our year up with a holiday breakfast. The holiday breakfast is a fun event that we all can go to. And after that, we're into 2011.
I want to be a guest speaker at one of your engagements.
I will put that on my
functions.
list because next year I'll have myself up at the top of the podium and I'll be able to help you out with that.
Thank you. Well, my speech, my fees will not be as high as some of these national.
We try to achieve minimal fees for all of these events because we don't want to be.
Mine will be minimal, all
Yeah,
right, but not that
okay.
minimal.
Let me tell you, he's been there, done that.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of knowledge about everything.
I can tell he's not a baby boomer, you know?
No, that's the truth, right?
Yeah. An interesting quick thought. Baby boomers are the largest generation, okay? And we are all at a point where many of us, I would have to say excluding realtors, are probably going to want to be downscaling to one level of living or that kind of a thing.
Yep.
So all you other generations that are out there,
Buy
don't beat
ranches.
us up if we don't want to text, if we don't want to
Oh.
email. Pick
No,
up the
no.
phone once in a while.
I'm buying up all the ranches in town.
Okay.
And I'm going to charge a premium on those bad boys.
Well, you know what?
You heard,
they-
you heard it here on E ESPN 950.
are you going to be a slumlord?
Oh no, I'm gonna hoard them all until all the baby boomers start calling me saying I'll give you $30,000 above what you paid for it.
A ranch hoarder. I
Yeah,
love it.
a ranch hoarder. You liking that or what?
That reminds me, though, when you talk about baby boomers, and we've talked a little bit briefly about an addition when we were talking about assessments, assets, liabilities, and that kind of thing. The universal design is one of my favorite things in home improvement. Again, I'll reiterate, as the fixie chick, I know a little bit more about home improvement than I do about real estate. And the universal design, is that something that you find is in demand when you are selling homes, or you have the baby boomers looking for homes at this time? And
Universal design?
What I mean by the universal design is, the lower countertops, how they place, let's say like outlets, in easy to reach places, higher toilet seats, for example, grab bars, a lot of things like that make it easier for people who are aging or handicapped even at a young age to universally enjoy their home.
Ooh.
Wow.
Never quite heard
This is
it called
deep.
that before, but because I live in a townhouse community and many of the people are seniors and elderly, I see that they are remodeling their places with showers instead of bathtubs, step in that you don't have to step over something.
Right?
Again, with the plugs on the counter so that if someone's in a wheelchair or something, can reach everything
Yeah.
easily. So we do see a lot of that kind of home improvement going on in our community.
Even in the real estate MLS, multiple listing service, it's commonly referred to as handicap accessibility.
Right.
Right. We have a whole
And you
list
just
of things.
put a new name to it, which is interesting.
Well, it wasn't my name. It's definitely the remodeling industry's name, but something that I've read about and actually have talked about on the radio before. Is the universal design. I
There
guess
are
that's
companies
the
out there that
PC
cater
way
to
s-
handicap.
I don't want to be politically incorrect, but I just wanted to say what popped into my head as you were speaking, Maureen, is the ramps in front of the homes for handicap. That's tacky.
It is tacky.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that. It popped into my head. It's coming out my mouth.
Well, what are you
I don't know.
what are you
just-
gonna do?
Nothing. I just am not going to become handicapped because I don't want one of those tacky ramps in front of my house.
You do that. Good luck
All
with
the way
that.
around the house.
Oh, God. Yeah, go in the back door. Good idea.
Good luck with
Sorry.
that, pal.
Off topic.
But how about ways of making those types of improvements or necessity, adjustments looking better or functioning better? Is there anything new out there for that?
Well, there's a lot of companies out there that cater to different types of necessary,
Yeah.
like ramps and that sort of thing. The part about making ramps, just since we seem to be talking about ramps here, is that there's a lot of specifications when somebody needs to put a ramp in. Like so many inches per foot or so many, raising it. It's really an interesting concept. And you
Back
really
to the permit,
Yeah.
permit you to do
Oh,
what you
definitely
need to do
permit.
on your
Plants.
don't try to do it in a preservation district. It's really difficult.